Oh, right or wrong. Luka Dončić was spotted in Slovenia looking Chet skinny.
Yeah.
I want to say.
Okay, well, not that skinny, but go ahead.
Apparently, he's been training extra hard this offseason, and it's clearly showing. Right or wrong, Luka is too skinny.
I actually think that's right.
You think he's too skinny?
Yes. I think that he will put on some more weight. If it was the season we're starting right now, I would not want him that weight. I do think he needed to get in better cardiovascular shape because he has such a load on him offensively. I think one of the reasons that he either was, call it lackadaisical on defense or wearing down in fourth quarters, was he was not in the best physical condition.
Yeah.
Okay? However, I think Luka's NBA equivalent as far as stylistically on offense is LeBron, right? And he's not the athlete LeBron is, but he plays very similar and puts up very similar, the 27-7-7 LeBron's thing where it's you're going to fill up every part of the box score.
Right.
One of the keys for LeBron to be able to do that is taking the punishment. And for LeBron, it was with pure muscle.
Right.
But then later in his career, also put on extra weight.
Right.
Luka's never going to have that type of body. But I do think a little extra weight helps him deal with the punishment.
I was just saying this.
Yeah?
Yeah. No, I was just saying, like, the only way this, I didn't want to say that he was too skinny, but I was just saying that the only way that him losing all this weight works if he's just that much faster. But
he's not going to get that much faster.
You don't think so?
No, I don't think he's going to get, and by the way, I don't think he needs to be faster. He makes everyone play at his speed, and he gets him on his ass, like right on his hip, and just does what he wants.
Right.
What he needs is, to be totally honest, his lungs to be in better shape. He needs just to be in better cardiovascular condition. Yeah, for real. And I think trimming down, I think it is easier once the season starts or leading into the season to bulk up with good weight, which I assume he will do. So I like this as a sign of what he's doing this offseason. I would think this would be too skinny for it to be his playing weight. I think he's got to gain a little bit of weight. All right, what's next?
Okay. Dejounte played in a pro-am game in Seattle with his new teammates Trae Young and John Collins.
Yep.
Sorry. After the game, he urged more NBA players to play in pro-am games for fans that can't afford it.
Yep.
Right or wrong, it's worth the injury risk for NBA players to play in pro-am games.
All right, here's the thing. And this was the knock on Ben Simmons, among a handful of other guys who don't seem to show year-over-year improvement. Here's the thing about NBA players. They're going to play basketball.
Right.
All year round. Maybe take a month off after the season. So whether it's a pro-am game, whether it's the open run at UCLA that's been going on forever, whether it's pick up at 24. When you lived in Houston, how often would you see Dwight Howard?
Yeah, he came up to our school one time.
Yeah, listen, guys love to play. So I don't look at it as more of an injury risk playing in these pro-am games than playing at Lifetime or 20. These guys are going to play.
Right.
It's not like football where there's so much more contact and you can't really play organized football. You know what I mean? Outside of the context of your team. Right. So I think it is worth the injury risk.
And then I think as long as they're playing with the right folks, I think that you could be playing against high risk, like people that are more.
Well, listen, I think some people would argue that it is a higher risk at the pro-am because it's guys who are like, I could be a pro and I'm going to show him. But what's really going to get you messed up is if you're playing with someone totally sloppy, totally out of control. And that's not going to happen in a pro-am game as likely as it's going to happen at just some gym, some open run. So I think it's worth the risk. I also want to talk here because I said we were going to talk about it. The Dejounte Murray, Paolo Banchero all of a sudden feud. I love it. I love that Paolo all of a sudden is like taking on the mantle of I was the number one, pardon me, but pick of this draft. Nobody's going to talk trash to me. And Dejounte, who nobody's ever thought of as a star.
What is he in, year 5?
Dejounte Murray?
Yeah.
That sounds right. I'm not sure if it's year 5 or year. I think it is year 5.
I just think it's like, I'd compare it to me fighting with Deanna. How are you going to be beefing with this dude that just got to the NBA?
Well, I
I get
think
he's the number one pick, and it's like, but it almost.
so. He's played 5 years, but he missed 1 year with injury. So he's played 6 years if you include that. So this will be year 7. It's because he's the number one pick, and Dejounte's feeling himself. You know what I mean? Got traded for all these picks. Is looking at a big deal coming up. So I get it. I also like Paolo not backing down. I like the whole thing for both of them. All right, I know we're out of time, so we'll go quick through these last few. What's next?
Former Pats offensive lineman Rich Ohrnberger said that but once after oversleeping, intentionally crashed his car so he could dodge the wrath of Bill Belichick. Right or wrong, this is the sign of a great coach.
Okay,
that's freaking crazy.
All right, it's story time real quick.
Yeah.
Right? This was like the most instant karma that ever happened. All right. So I'm not even going to answer this question. Belichick's a hard-nosed guy. We all know it. It's fine. The reason I left this in the show is to tell the story. So, college, my friend Tamara, who you know, was flying back from somewhere to Syracuse. Like an overnight flight, like 6:30 a.m. or maybe even earlier, landed.
Okay.
And I told her I'd pick her up. I had been gambling. It was coming back from winter break at Turning Stone Casino in Syracuse. And I lost track of time, or I didn't care, or whatever. And as I'm walking to my car, she calls me to say, like, where are you? And I'm walking to my car from the parking lot. And it's a 45-minute drive.
Okay.
And it's snowing because it's Syracuse in the winter. And I answer and the phone dies. And I'm like, oh my God. So I get on a Syracuse highways out there's toll road. Get to the toll booth, and I convince the toll booth operator, this is pre-Easy Pass.
To take chips?
No, to let me use his phone.
Oh, okay.
To call her and tell her.
All right.
So I call her, and she's yelling at me. She's like, where are you? I've been waiting. And I'm like, and I got irritated that she was irritated with me. She doesn't know this, but I don't know if she watches the pod. I got irritated that she was irritated with me. So I was like, Tamara, I got in a wreck. And she was like, oh my God, are you okay? I'm like, I'm fine. Car's a little banged up, but I'm running late, but I will come. I will be there. She's like, oh, okay, I'm sorry. I'm like, hey, don't worry about it. I'm on my way.
A menace.
Give the guy his phone back. Leave the toll area. From the toll area, it's a ramp to the next highway. Car spins out on the ramp and bangs the guardrail. Right after I claimed I had gotten in a wreck. So 2 things. One is, that's crazy karma. Second is, I don't know what my plan had been about when I picked her up and she was going to be like, but now there was actual damage to the vehicle.
I would have kicked the car.
It wasn't worth it. But so I've done something similar. I get it. The old car wreck excuse, except I didn't try to get in the car wreck, but I did get in the car wreck. Okay, all right, let's move on.
Bill Belichick is just as scary as an angry not girlfriend at the time.
I think that's actually smart. I think Rich probably would have gotten cut. I think it's actually smart.
Okay.
He's cut guys for less. All right. Hey, thanks for watching. Hit the subscribe button to get more from the show, and make sure to click the bell to get notified every time new content drops. Check out full episodes of What's Right wherever you get your podcasts, or just click the link in the description below.